So today I tried the 714 method. I've back tested on several occasions. I've back tested it several times, and I actually come to a conclusion that I have to see it in real market. I have to see it in a live market, because backtesting doesn't necessarily mean you can put it in the real market and it will actually work that much. Even though it has a tendency of uh, failing once in a time, right? But still, I just had to see it in a real market. So I used it today, and this white lines, I just want to take you guys through what happened. This white lines are that 1 hour period. That 1 hour period that you choose if the trend is going downwards. If it's in a downtrend, after that 1 hour period, then we are moving up. If it's in an uptrend, within this 1 hour period, after that we are moving down, right? So this is just the 1 hour period. I'm using this two white lines to identify it. So we're actually in a downtrend, and because I wanted to be aggressive with this, I wanted to see how it actually works and how the draw down will be. I mean, I entered the trade immediately after the last candle on that 1 hour trend finished. I entered the trade immediately. I did not wait for anything. I could have entered, and it happened to be in a 15 minutes order block. So I entered, but I could have waited to see if it will drop to this FVG. But that was a 30 minutes FVG. But now I just entered because I wanted to be aggressive with it. I wanted to see how the trade will go. So that was what happened. And so this was my entry, and my first TP was just at the high, right? But my initial target was 100 pips. So let's see what happens. So after a while, all these drawbacks, when all these drawbacks was done, it was just kind of like the trend was in a consolidation mode for a while, for just a small period of time. Then yeah, we actually moved higher. Not to mention that my stop loss was actually 2. Initially I used 1 risk to reward, but because I was testing this on a live account, I don't know how it was going to work, so I actually pulled down my stop loss a little bit. And I also thought we could have entered into this FAG a little before we push up. So that was what happened. So I pushed it down a little. That was just the main reason why I pushed it down, because there was an FVG here, right? But we actually bounced from this other block. We did not go below it. We just bounced from the other block. The first TP was hit. Yeah, within some couple of minutes. So the first TP was hit. Then I took profit and I was waiting for the second TP. So actually the second TP did not hit, even though it went to it, but I was being stingy, so I did not close the trade. So it actually had this nice rejection up there, so I had to close it. So I later on closed it around somewhere 96 pips, but it was more than that. It actually went to about 102 pips or something like that. Yeah, so that's just what I want to walk you guys through. But my advice for this is just, even though it works right now, or it will work most at the time, but when you find this type of method, find something to accompany it, right? Find something very, very good to accompany it, like an order block, like an FAG imbalance. Just find something to accompany it so that it will make it more powerful. Don't just say that because it's coming down, because it might have come down, then you enter from here. If you weren't having enough money on your account, right, these drawbacks, these drawdowns would have taken you out before the trade even manifests, right? So that's just what I want to add. So let's dive into the actual trade, the live trade, and see what happens. So as you can see, this was the actual trade. I'm just bringing it out a little. I just want you guys to see it. I don't want to actually talk about it that much. So this was the actual trade, right? I took the trade. All these drawdowns were parts. You can actually see that I kept an order at the FEG. Yes, because I wanted a pullback. I needed a pullback to this FEG so that this order could be placed before we move up. But yeah, the market does what the market wants, right? So we couldn't, but it actually works. The 714 method, it works. Yeah, I've back tested it on several occasions and it works. And today I just used it in a live trade. And it was marvelous. Just the drawdown was kind of little, but yeah, it actually works because I was being aggressive. That's why I entered this trade around this area in the first place. If I wasn't being aggressive, if I wanted to see a solid movement around here, I wouldn't have done this, right? I would have waited to see a rejection before I enter, right? So you have to know your entries and you have to be very, very serious if you want to use this. Find something to support it. When it comes down to that level, when it goes up to that level, check if there's an FEG, if there's an order block, because these sites are powerful. Order blocks and FEGs, right? They are powerful, whether they are on 5 minutes, they are on 30 minutes, they are on 15 minutes. That's why it's good for you as a trader to be always checking on all the time frames, even if you are not going to use all of them, at least from 4 hours downwards. Just try when there's a trend movement, right? Start from the 15 time frame upward. Check if there are FAJs, if there are other blocks, because on those charts, on those bigger time frames, if there is going to be a change, it happens on those bigger time frames, right? These smaller time frames just gives us perfect entries, but the bigger time frames are for the change. So if there's a change there, you already know that, oh yeah, there's a change here, so there might be a pullback or there might be a rejection around this level. So that's why I said when you're going to use this, just try your best and find something and um just support it. But if there is nothing there, just make sure your stop loss is at least 2, right? Because it might have drawbacks, and when it has a drawback, it can actually take you out of the trade before it even moves in your direction, right? I mean, look at these drawbacks. Just look at these drawbacks. So that's what I'm talking about. Just look at these drawbacks here. So it could have taken you out. Normally I use 1% risk, right? So if I was going to use 1% risk on this trade, it would have taken me out before it even manifests, right? So that's why I used 2. That's why I used 2. And the reason why I even used it in the first place was because of this FAG. If there wasn't an FAG there, it might have taken me out because I would have used 1. I'm going to be frank, I would have used 1, I wouldn't have used 2. So because there was an FAG here on the live trade, you can see I actually placed an order here, but it wasn't taken because we never retraced back to the FAG, so the order wasn't taken, right? So that's just what I'm saying. And when it reaches your take profit, please don't be stingy, just take it, right? From this level to this level, that could have been a lot, but all the best. I was very, very stingy, so I couldn't take it from here. I was aiming up higher, even though the trade eventually goes higher, but this drawback, I don't want drawbacks that are too serious. When you need a drawback, this is a drawback. This type of drawbacks lead to uh, trend change. So if a drawback is like this, it's not a good thing to actually close the trade above here, right? There was this drawback, then another drawback. So I couldn't close the trade here because it was already at this level. So I waited for this push. When it pushed it back to here, I closed the trade around the area on this third candle here, right? And it actually came back down. So, but I did not take any trade again for some minutes before I took some trade to the upward side again. So that's just it. The 714 method, it works, but I just hope you find something to support it, because using it alone, it might be working alright, but these drawbacks might kick you out. Yes, these drawbacks might kick you out, because when you don't find something to support it, you see, when there's an order block, there's an FAG, the liquidity here is very high, so it pushes price way up and way fast. So when you take a trade in these levels, you can actually see that, yeah, this trade moves very fast and very good. There are no drawbacks, but because I took it around this level, look at these drawbacks. Just look at it. A lot of drawbacks. Somebody might even thought the trade was actually going down, or it was coming to hit my stop loss, right? So that's just what it is. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. But just remember, find something to do what, to support you, support your trade, support your entry when you are using this method, right? It works. I can confirm that it works, but just find something to support it, right? So see you guys in the next video.